What up? It's the Grandpa MC coming at you with another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Alright, so this is just this is a fun little fun thing that I came up with. I made a video earlier about the top 10 players in my mind of NBA history. So I'm gonna come with the next 10 to see what you think. I'm open to conversation about it because this one is not as set in stone as the other one to me. It's like the first 10 I'm not going I'm not going to debate that. I'm not going to debate that. Now I might with certain ones I might give a little leeway to, but in my mind the first 10 that I made the video about are kind of like that's the way it should be. This next 10, I might be able to be talked down a little bit. So let's go. So at number 11, got Karl Malone. Karl Malone out of Louisiana Tech. Had a long career, known as one of the best power forwards of all time. He fell down after Tim Duncan hit the league. But he still did his thing, although he fell short a couple of times. Karl Malone, in my mind, number 11. Number 12, got Big Pat Ewing out of Georgetown. One of my favorite players of the 90s. When he was in New York, man, him and Jordan used to go back and forth. The only reason why he didn't win a title, well, he played two players that were better than him, which was, Jordan in the Eastern Conference. And when he met Olajuwon in the finals, Olajuwon unfortunately was, eating him alive. So that doesn't diminish what Patrick Ewing meant to the New York franchise when he was there. He was pretty much the only reason to watch New York, especially in his early days before they had got some sense and been, was able to, get a team around that can compete. But Patrick Ewing, if they would have, helped him win more, meaning the organization by drafting better players. Coaches I really can't talk about because, Hubie Brown was, a mind. You had the only coach that was, like that. Well, he had two coaches that I liked that I liked when he played for him. One was Stu Jackson, the other one was Pat Riley. Pat Riley emphasized him getting the ball all the time. Patrick Ewing was doing it, man. One of the best big men of all time, and a major reason to watch the New York Knicks in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, mid 80s, early 90s. So Patrick Ewing, number 12. Number 13, we got Jerry West, the logo. One of the better shooting guards of all time. He's not too far from Jordan and Kobe. I think if I had a conversation about it, I'd be like, I could see him replacing Dwayne Wade. Actually, to tell the truth, because I'll get off. So Jerry West, number 13. Number 14, we got Elgin Baylor, one of the first, one of the early high flyers of his time. I think that he, a lot of his legacy got diminished associating himself with the Clippers organization because he was a punchline for years being the GM for the Clippers. A lot of stuff went down with the Clippers, but that shouldn't diminish his career in the NBA because he was one of a kind. Again, great scorer, fantastic player of his time and all time. So Elgin Baylor, number 14. Number 15, we got Isaiah Thomas. Zeke, man. One of the only one of the only little men to lead his team to the NBA Finals. And he beat Bird, Magic, and Jordan. All of them. The only person that wasn't in, well, Bird was in his prime when they were going back and forth. They beat him before Bird the back injury and the bone spurs, took a toll on Larry Bird. So Isaiah Thomas, if you don't know, he came out of Indiana, went to Detroit. They were a losing team. He had to, get it out of the mud, basically. Like, he started at the bottom, moved his way up to the top. One of the second. I mean, he was considered one of the second best point guard after Magic during this time in the league. So Isaiah Thomas, number 15. Number 16, Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. Charles Barkley was 6'4", playing power forward. That's all that need to be said about that. 6'4". Great rebounder, great scorer. Only thing that took away from Barkley, in my mind, is that he started trying to shoot too many threes. And it happened like in the midpoint of his career. He would always take a three every now and then, but by the time he got like 30, he was taking a lot of 3-pointers. But, don't diminish Charles Barkley. So Charles Barkley, number 16. Number 17, David Robinson, the Admiral. Admirable. The Admiral. One of the most athletic 7-footers of all time. Was a quick, had some pretty good moves. He was one of the first face-up centers. He was one of the early face-up centers of his time. That's kind of like, the reason why the Olympic team had to start bringing the NBA players, because he was on that 88 Olympic team that lost to Russia in the 88 Olympics. Not to diminish him. I mean, I didn't like it, but like at the same time, I think the team that they had kind of didn't fit him. Like, they had some. Anyway, I'm getting off the point. David Robinson, number 17, one of the greater big men of his time and all time. So number 17, David Robinson. Number 18, I just know him as a scorer and a Atlanta staple. His name comes up a lot when you talk about great players in the past. Number 18, you got Bob Pettit. I got Bob Pettit, number 18. Number 19, I'm going to go with Bill Walton. Bill Walton was was he before Kareem? I'm trying to think. Was he before or after Kareem? I think he was after Kareem. Yeah, he was after Kareem. But if injuries wouldn't have derailed his career, Bill Walton would have been considered one of the greatest centers of all time, because he could block shots. He was tenacious. He could score. He won a championship in Portland, their only championship. And after looking at the Celtics City series, coming from Larry Bird said that he took their team to a whole nother level. And this was a injured Bill Walton. So just think about what he would have been if he wouldn't have had the foot problems. So I'm gonna put Bill Walton, number 19. Number 20, John Havlicek, Hondo. And the reason why is because he was one of the first of his kind. One of the first point forwards, and this was back in the day. He was they said he out of all the players in the NBA, non-centers, his numbers was at the top of his time in the NBA. He was versatile. He could score, crunch time, defender, leader on the team. So, and after watching the Celtics series, that kind of, swayed me a little bit. So I'm going to put John Havlicek, number 20. So that's my thoughts on the the next 10 players that I think are great in the NBA of all time. So let me know what you think. Grandpa out.